Greetings, traveler.
So guys, we are going to be watching a Zorgo game. So let's dive right in. It's going to be a Greater Fortune game. We got Beast, Mech, Murloc, Nagas, and Undead. So no dragons for the Nagas. Beasts are in for Rylak. Mechs are pretty good. Solo as well. Can definitely play Undead too. Illidan is rated A in a Beast lobby for Macaw, I guess. Alright, so we end up going with the Illidan. So Illidan has 18 armor, but it's almost a little deceptive because you get the hero power to win your early fights too. So you effectively have like what, maybe 25, 27 armor or something. Quite a healthy hero here. The downside is that you don't have money. So at some point you're gonna need that armor, because heroes like Murloc Holmes, who do get extra coins, are gonna have a better board on average because they have more resources than you to build that board. But early on, yeah, the hero power is definitely better. We are fighting the Zoth. I guess you do lose there. Flip of hands. Yeah, if he has a Deathrattle, it's always over. All right, it's 3 damage. This is a great shop in terms of money, right? We got this 2-cost spell. Try to get Lava Lurker here. Build a Crabmobile or buff it. Yeah, there we go. Anytime I have Spellcraft, I'm just like, oh, he's always taking Lurker here, right? Or Scout? No way, right? Lurker is just so free. The tempo is so free. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Undead are in, so you can actually go Overflow. That's what chat immediately thinks, right? The moment we get Lava Lurker plus Surf, I feel like a lot of players are then like, okay, it's an Overflow game, guaranteed. From this moment on, I will do nothing but roll for Catacomb Crasher and Macaw. So, funny enough, you turn a good thing into a bad thing. Because the Crabmobile here, the Lurker, okay, he's not even doing Crabmobile. The Lurker with the Spellcraft, but he's proving my point, right? He's making a statement here. On average, you're going to lose MMR by chasing one particular build on turn 3. The good thing is that you have your Lava Lurker, you have your Spellcraft, so you're going to be winning games. You're going to be winning fights. That's a good thing. But then you turn it into a bad thing because you say, oh, I'm going to cut myself off from all the other possible builds I could do, and I'm only going to look for like 3 or 4 cards from now on. And if you only can hit 3 or 4 cards, your chances to win are lowered drastically, because now the game does become more RNG, because you either hit the card or you don't hit the card. But if you play from a position of strength and you say, I am going to just use this Lava Lurker, I'm going to win all my fights, I'm going to be really healthy, and then I get to play whatever the shop gives me. I can play these I guess higher tier cards, right? If you get the Bran, if you get the Titus, if you get the Drakari, for whatever build you're trying to do, it's just much better. So it's actually, I actually like that he's not even stacking crabs. He's not even giving himself that option. Now, that's not to say that you should never stack your Lava Lurker with crabs and never play Overflow. But the beauty, the trick there is to do it in such a way where you only play Overflow if you're actually hitting the cards to hit Overflow early on, and you get a clear signal from the game that you can do it. Or if you're just basically Jeef and you can play something else without taking damage the whole time and still set up Overflow. You can do that too. You can decide on turn 1, or let's say turn 3, that you're gonna play Overflow eventually, but you need to have the skill, the insight, to also not lose fights while you're setting it up, and that's real hard. We have a Tiger Shark and a Rylak here, right? So that seems pretty straightforward. We're getting Rylak Portrait at a discount because we have 2 Nagas, well, 3 Nagas and only 1 Beast. So you get trinkets offered at a discount if you don't at least have 2 units of that type on the board. So this is considered a pivot, which is kind of weird because you're not pivoting on turn 6. You just have these cards or you don't have these cards. So yeah. How is this guy losing fights? I know. I'm praising. Let me go back. The difference is that he's leveling, right? And the other guys aren't. If I go back here, because I was saying, oh, he's just gonna win fights now, but then he fights Toki. And he, to be fair, he only had 11% to lose against Toki. But Toki got a tiger shark and pulled a raptor out of it. That's kind of cheating. And then this guy didn't level and just made a huge mech, which kind of sucks against what we're doing here. Funny enough, if he had made the crabs, I think he has a better chance. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. So yeah, anyways. It's funny how you can have a plan and then the game, Bob just says, that's cute. Hey, this guy had a plan. He had a plan, guys. That's cute. Screw you and your plan. Here's damage. Ooh, but here's a turtle. I was just kidding. Dude, turtle and another shark here is huge. Huge. Dude, this is good. If we had another Rylak here, it's actually obscene because then you trigger it again. No. Lasher is still really good tempo. It's only Lasher, I think. That's like the only real option. You could also farm the Beetle battle cry, but you're never doing that, right? You're copying the Tiger Shark. Josco, thank you very much for the 6. Whoa! Double sell? Yeah. Honestly, I might have even sold Lurker here and kept my thing. Oh! Faster! 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 Get it on the board! Hey, let's go, baby! Dude, this is unreal! It's turn 6 and he has double reborn Rylak, Rylak Trinket, Golden Shark. His hand is literally full. Like, he gets a full hand here. Unbelievable. Turn 6. Yep. That's funny, like the Drakari is actually costing him 1 beast here. Okay, we're getting Tamsin. Tamsin has a fish? Ooh. Ooh, that interaction is dirty. All right, the fish then spawns and ew. All right, so level to 5 because our hand is full and we have money. So that's pretty much guaranteed level. If you have this much gold, you're not staying on 4 unless you're doing something hyper specific, right? You're forcing some kind of tier 4 build, but that's not the case here. There's Strafer with the Drakari, which is kind of funny now that it's Avenge 1. Don't think so. Fellhorn is tempo. And if you get Beetles, it's actually quite good. Oh yeah, you always play the Fellhorn at the very least because you got the roll guy. Yeah, he needs to not take damage here, so having one Fellhorn, having one Rylak on the Fellhorn and the other Rylaks on the Tiger Shark is fine. Or sorry, one on Fellhorn, one on Rylak. Okay, by playing the other Fellhorn on the board, he actually gives himself a reasonable chance here. Ooh, wait. Oh, that's so greedy. He's 50-50ing it. Is he not gonna overdraw anyway? Like, he overdrew a bunch last time. Because it's not adjacent, it's an adjacent, right? Yeah, he missed on that one. He has 80% the window. Okay, the Tiger Shark dies. Maybe he accounted for that. I don't know. I guess the tempo isn't that high. The hand is full already, probably. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I feel like I would have had one Rylak next to the shark and then one Rylak next to the tempo guy. But the tempo isn't that high, right? Ooh, gets a golden. Very nice. Queensguard, I guess. I don't think we're playing the others. So we need a Shimmer Moth, basically. If this triple is a Shimmer Moth, we are chilling. You could roll for Bran first, but Panther's also. I think we level now. We got the tempo. Yeah, you can actually just play Panther. Ooh, I might have even kept that 4-drop for now and sold the Sewer Rat. Like, why do we care about Sewer Rat? Titus? Titus huge. Enormous. Large, you might say. Yeah, he's just gonna have enough tempo, I think. Oh, what he needs is a bluebird, right? That's the wrong bluebird. There's Hamul. I'm down for Hamul here. Ooh, wants to play the Skitterers, really? Oh, to already start buffing Beetles a bit, I guess. Out of Panther here? Really? Whoa, my god, we are just like giga tunnel visioning into the Beetles. Again, it's probably not wrong. I just need to adapt to how, from this position, he's basically saying the odds of me playing anything else in Beetles are really low. Therefore, playing Panther with the Tiger Shark is a waste of my resources. I should just start buffing my Beetles already with a turquoise Skitterer. I see it, right? I see it. It's just not something I'd expected here. And he's got only 6% to lose. And it's not like he loses tempo this fight for selling the wolf. He actually gains tempo by making this play. So again, after we think about it a little bit more and we look at how everything plays out, it does make sense. It's just, it's not something you would expect when you have a handful of beasts that's being generated, that you're gonna sell the wolf. Okay, he's actually got 4 Surf and Surfs in his hand. That's funny. So that's going to create space. Oh, this is a double proc, right? He has oh, double chicken, baby. At least he has chicken times 2. All right, give us a Shimmer Moth. There it is. Also a golden turquoise. But do you care about that now? Oof, I don't think you care about that. I think you sell the turquoise, yeah. Because you're basically, you're strong enough. You're strong enough to, all right, give me 1 second. All right, let's get back into the review. All right, where were we? Right, I think we were on this Discover, actually. So what was I saying? Because he's going to be strong enough with the Shimmer Moth getting buffed now, I don't think you have to sell your Tiger Shark yet, because that would actually be the play where, well, he could technically sell Tiger Shark to run 2 Fellhorns if he actually wants to scale more, but you would run double Shimmer Moth. Yeah, you would do that. I'm fine keeping Tiger Shark for now, but I'm curious if Zorgo cares, if he would actually prefer to get the extra beast or not. Does he cycle the Fellhorn, or is the goal to keep 2 Fellhorns? This is actually a good piece of information for me. Very curious whether he wants to keep the Tiger Shark another round or not, because I genuinely can't tell. I think you cycle the Fellhorn, yeah. And then another Macaw. Cool. So he's hoping that the Tiger Shark generates Golden Macaw. If the Tiger Shark doesn't generate Golden Macaw, he probably has to sell Tiger Shark. But maybe that's the plan anyway. What do you even need it for? Just scale the Beetles. What do you need 10 beasts in your hand for? Well, I mean, if you're playing beasts, getting 10 beasts is pretty good. It's I know that sounds crazy, right? But getting 10 beasts when you're playing beasts is quite nice. It helps you make that Golden Macaw, it gives you Reborns, it helps you make Golden Shimmer Moth. It just gives you 10 extra gold to roll for Bran, which you still want for your Rylak Fellhorn interaction. So anytime you can get away with adding a bunch of resources, it's quite likely that it's going to be the correct move. Not always, but likely. So yeah, getting the Macaw, getting the Scarab, that's huge. Can Reborn and Wind Fury the Macaw as well. I like Wind Furying first because it gets buffed from the Fellhorn, but might be a eyes. He does get eyes. Okay, that's for the second Macaw, I guess. Usually eyes is great, but it's like, wait. Beetle spell is quite powerful, but he's so strong he actually doesn't want it. Nah, don't care about that. How do you fit Bran? You kick Tiger Shark. At some point you don't need it anymore. Oh, we're buying Fellhorn, really? Oh, he wants to scale up the board a little bit so that it has no... Oh, actually, he's gonna get rolls from that. That's why he buys a Tiger. That's interesting. Yeah, he gets free rerolls if he plays the Outrider. So it's basically free to buy the Panther. That's smart, yeah. Won't our hero power mess up a unit? You can figure it out, I think. Maybe you can't, but I have a feeling that you can figure it out. Okay, he's actually just gonna go double Fellhorn. Yeah, he can play a Shimmermoth. You lose some scaling on that second Shimmermoth, but you gain a lot of scaling for playing it in the first place. If it's not on the board, then you wouldn't be gaining it anyway. Brrr. And Shimmermoth lives. That's so good. He can also change hero powers later, but his hero power is very nice to scale. Alright, now the scaling has begun. Not the weakest undead board, but his tokens have 1 health, our tokens have 300. So it was slightly better. Tokens are slightly better on our side. Okay, this double chicken is also just so fun, man. The golden Rylak double procking. So golden Shimmermoth, please, and a Bran. But yeah, it does get weird. I guess you could play down 1 Fellhorn. He can just run... there it is. I think he's just gonna end up only running 1 Battle Cry, and that's how he's gonna fit the board. He's putting the biggest beetle first to try and have it survive, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably how it's gonna end up going. He sells 1 Fellhorn and runs Bran instead, and then he just keeps double Shimmermoth and sacrifices 1 Shimmermoth. Well, hopes to not sacrifice it, but we'll probably end up having to sacrifice it. But if you're lucky and it hits like a low damage Rylak, it could live. Looks like that's what's happening here, right? Nice. Oh wait, no, there's a... All right, I was thinking there's a Leviathan here, so that Reborn is going to be quite high damage, but it's not high enough. Yeah, he's getting away with it. He has Illidan hero power, but it's just a bonus here. This is good. This guy puts a lot of Shimmermoth back in the pool. Toki playing with our toys here. We'll be taking those. Thank you very much. Put those back in the pool. Stop right there. Reborn's still good. Yep. Golden Shimmermoth, go. I just sell Fellhorn. Already 1500. Yeah, it goes very fast. It's about to go faster now with Bran. Actually, does the Bran speed it up more than another Golden Fellhorn? It might be the same right now, right? Maybe the Bran only hits the board when he triples a Shimmermoth? No. Sells it now. You'd reborn the other one though, right? Yeah. He's gonna hold switch hero power? Yeah, I think he's doing that for later when it gets too awkward. Okay, I like this. You think it's the same? I do think it's the same, but I think he wanted board space. Yeah, because the Rylak is now half as effective, but then ×2 again because of Bran. Right, so it should be like null. What's going on here? Do you think bringing Felhorn back changed his meta from spell power meta to beetle meta? No, I don't think we're playing beetle meta. I hardly ever see beetles in my games. It's not like they're bad, it's just that there's so much good stuff right now, mainly back-to-back, that it's not a beetle supremacy at all. At least at high MMR, you see tons of back-to-back boards, because you have additional economy in anomaly meta. So with that extra money, people are building back-to-back a lot faster than before anomalies. Bran is worse because there's one fewer beasts to buff. What matters? Shimmermoth only scales off the damage the Shimmermoth takes, not your beasts in total, right? So the amount of scaling you're getting should be the same. Oh, he has shields. He can put his Bran last and shield it. That's actually kind of good. Beetles with the 2020 spell. Yeah. He might buy Mycologist. And he can Uther, the way he calls it. Nah, we're not doing it. He's not going for it. Doc says back-to-back sucks. I don't think he says that like that. He might say something as in chasing back-to-back is going to result in you losing, but he doesn't mean that back-to-back is not a very high cap composition that wins a lot of lobbies. But he might say like, oh, if you're just gonna force back-to-back, you're gonna end up dying, and that's not good. But there's probably a little bit more nuance to it. Because back-to-back is definitely a very strong composition in the current meta. This is also a really strong comp, this Reborn thing. He says back-to-back is too slow for the meta. Yeah, but that's the problem. That's when you are playing back-to-back, right? You don't play back-to-back. You play your game, and then you just open up back-to-back, and then you win with it. That's how you do it properly. You don't start playing the game being like, I'm going to play back-to-back now, right? Generally, it just happens when you have a spell power base and you're strong. And then from that position of strength, you build it. Asmo, thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We're watching a double chicken Rylac Trinket Beetle game. Chat was just saying like, wait, are Beetles OP now? I was like, nope. The mech build is just stronger tokens. That's a bit of a problem, yeah. Yeah, when mechs are in, mechs are just better Beetles, huh? Because the Kangor can keep bringing that unit back, so you have so much damage. And you have more tokens when you play mechs too with Automaton. Excuse me, are we losing? It does feel that way right now. He does have more time to scale. Was the other guy still scaling? Because that could be the win condition, right? If the other guy is... We still have a lot of room for improvements too with Golden Brand, Golden Titus. Nope. Nice. Alright. Getting better. Alright, so we're at 2.3k damage, but the relevant stats versus mechs isn't our damage, because the mech tokens don't have any health. It's about getting more health ourselves, so our guys can survive the mech tokens. He's keeping this Illidan hero power because it is generally a benefit to him, right? It's especially great if the Shimmermoth doesn't die on impact. Nice. Yeah, he just gets the double dip here. Oh, it's so good. You know, Goldrun isn't terrible, but it feels like you have to play it with banana. Fish dying when Titus is alive isn't horrible, but the extra Titus did die. The other guy stopped scaling. Yeah, he was running double Sindore, that is true. Maybe a bit early to do that. Especially with how much health he had left. Would Stitch Kodo take too long to set up compared to back-to-back? Well, Stitch Kodo is the back-to-back, right? You play back-to-back on the Kodo. That's how you buff it. Alright. Golden Titus confirmed. Trying to get another... Oh, he's trying to golden a Shimmer Moth, of course, of course. And he has Bran. Right. He's got Bran. Oh, it's so much better to play Battle Cries with Bran. I think we can keep the Illidan hero power, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, he's actually not scaling, that guy. He was not generating any magnetics. I wonder if he was playing Rylak with the Battle Cry or not. Titus doesn't seem worth it over Bran. This triple could be the... Yeah, okay. That's what I wanted to say. It's a bit awkward. We do need a cart to put in the back now. Oh, Battle Cry. Discover a Deathrattle, get a Battle Cry anyway. Ooh, lasso the Bran, lasso the Bran, lasso the Bran. At least try! You monster! Why didn't you try? Oh, another beetle token, sure. Man, do you sack your Bran here? If you're playing that beetle token? Oh, I guess he can just play the taunted vermin, yeah. Yay. Freeze? Yeah, I kind of like that. Cheers, Brody, thank you. Kind of want to suicide this Bran, right? So move it in front of the Shimmer Moth. Alright, here come the Sindores. Yeah, keeping the Illidan hero power is actually a great counter to Sindore. He keeps a ton of scaling. Because he has the chicken portrait, he has the Rylak portrait, and he's Illidan, so the Sindore honestly doesn't even bother us that much. We get the vast majority of our scaling before the Sindore has any chance to attack. Now we do lose the second round of the Macaw, but that's only if he kills the Fellhorn or if he like takes out Bran or something, right? Yeah, so we do lose some scaling because Bran dies. Yeah, this is going hard. Yeah, getting a lot of buffs here. It does feel like the other guy went all in a bit early. Because normally if you continue scaling how many magnetics you have, that mech just makes 4,000, 5,000 damage tokens. If you have a good game, right? If you have Titus and you resummon the thing multiple times. It's very hard to actually tank mech if mech is played properly. Looks like it's still a little risky here. Yeah, you see how strong it is, man. It's so good right now. We're so much bigger, but the damage and the deflecto, it's too nasty. I mean, another Shimmer Moth. I like armor. Like, he's not... Ooh. We blast him? Blaster is a bit weird as well. I guess you could put it in the back. It's gonna kill your shit though, right? Ooh, self Fellhorn. Whoa. 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 Wait, isn't the whole point of... Oh, he's going to... Oh, what? I guess Rylak is out then, right? Like... Oh. Okay, so we're getting out of the scaling of our own here. We run a few more beetles and we win. See, running a few more beetles, I generally don't love it because you... I kind of like having this Bran and Macaw and Rylak because then they die and you create more board space. Because quite often what happens when you run more beetles, you just have fewer beetles that spawn from your Shimmer Moth because your board's too full. We don't need to scale. I disagree. Like, again, that's not to say that it's... Ooh, does he sell here? This blaster for armor? No. He does sell it for armor. So, I think the way Zorgo's gonna do it, it probably makes sense, but just look at what happens here, right? So he triggers that, his board is full. Then we're not gonna have board space to summon. Then the taunt dies, and that makes your board full again. Then you can't reborn this guy. That has no board space. So, like, you're adding more beetles, but you're not really adding that many more beetles, if you get my point. Now, again, it's probably still correct, because I think Zorgo did it better than I usually do, or I think the vast majority of people do. But it's definitely a bit awkward. So I guess the point that I'm trying to convey is, especially once you have two Shimmer Moths, it's not so bad to have some trash in the front that can die, so that your Golden Shimmermoth actually has enough board space to reborn. So that's my general philosophy when I play this comp, is I don't mind having some trash in the front that doesn't do combat very well, like Rylak, like Fellhorn, but it just dies off and then makes enough board space so that your Shimmermoth can summon a bunch of beetles and still reborn. Now, of course, with a Golden Titus, it is tough. With Golden Titus, you do end up very often not reborning your Shimmermoth anyway. 100% win rate seems to make this a great decision. Yeah, but that's only because he had the one Shimmermoth. I think if he had the two Shimmermoths, especially with Reborn on the board, I don't think it's that big of an impact. How do people get 4,000 attack and health? How is this possible? They play the game more efficiently. If you've seen my guides, I explain it there, right? Like how to play more efficiently. And then it's just practice, right? For the record, I want to be very clear. I do think it's correct what he did, right? I'm just saying in general, it's not as big as an upgrade as you would think it is. Does that make sense? But I think for the board that Zorgo had with the one Golden Reborn Shimmermoth, it's probably safer to do spam beetles. Yeah, the fact that the other guy sold the scaling was, I mean, he nearly killed Zorgo, so you can argue that he just went for a line and it didn't pay off. Yeah, new hero power is nice at this stage of the game. Reborn. I don't think there's anything else. You can reborn your Titus if you want to. It's a bit weird. He's leaving a board space because he has the chicken. He could also reborn Leroy, but he loses a beetle. Like the beetles are pretty big because the chicken procs start of combat and then spawns more beetles. He keeps looking at this blaster. He's considering just blasting. Reborn Leroy is still good. I don't think it is. I think the beetle does more, right? The beetle token. This is more safe to summon tokens than hoping Shimmermoth not getting sniped. Well, again, right? I'm talking about when you have two Shimmermoths and you have your taunts. Because normally what you have is you have taunted Fellhorn with Reborn. You have your taunted Reborn Rylak. I guess when the opponent is running double Sindore, the risk is too great. I think you can make a caveat for that. I will say that the taunted Reborn Fellhorn and the taunted Reborn Rylak, which always has taunt, of course, unless you pants it, that is normally enough to prevent the bad combat. But because the opponent is running double Sindore, it probably makes more sense to spread it out like this. Yeah, he's gonna sell the taunt to just summon a beetle already. Okay, we are blasting. Then he blasts some more. So the opponent played a Titus. We also killed... Ooh, that mech first. That Sindore is just a heat-seeking missile. All right, man, this has been instructive. So I think I do like, versus the Sindore, I do like spreading out the beetles more, the way how Zorgo did it. I think that's a smart adaptation. I also really, really liked, man, that Tiger Shark turn was so good. He got such a good power spike there on turn 6.